welcome everybody to DRL ACC. I am your host, Tyler Morgan. We have had an incredible journey over the last few seasons. It has been an absolute honor being able to host every race so far this season. Honestly, couldn't have had a better chance and a better opportunity to be with everybody and get to watch these amazing drivers as Macklin goes fifth in the free practice session. Sorry folks, a little emotional. From the start of the Red Bull Ring all the way down to Masato and Zolder. From the supposed wet Imola we had to Laguna Seca, through the absolute chaos of Bathurst, to the winding curves around Silverstone, to the sunrise at Snetterton, from the horrifyingly wet Spa that I finished fourth in, to the curves of Monza and the twists around Suzuka, we finally end at Paul Ricard. Folks, with me in the booth to start today is none other than Spencer Braun, the man that won the Pro-Am last year, but managed to sneak into the Pro Division and has just absolutely firing on all cylinders as of late. Braun, it is a pleasure to have you here in the booth. How do you think your season has been so far?
Hey, thanks for having me, Tyler. Hey, it's been a bit of a journey this season. Switched cars to the McLaren and has been struggling to kind of get along with this car, and I'm looking forward to trying a different car in season 3 and starting to gel with it now. But if you watched last race, definitely led with my heart and not my brain in that race. So it's been an interesting journey and learned a lot of lessons this season.
Yeah, Suzuka, the stewards seem to absolutely slam you into the ground with the penalty point system. I actually think you have a qualifying ban. I don't even think you're qualifying this race.
No, that's correct. Quality ban. Gonna sit here and watch what happens. Gonna have to totally come up with a different strategy.
Now, with that being said, what do you obviously you're in the confines of this booth. No one's gonna see your strategy. No one has the stream open at this God-given hour, and at least none of the drivers do. What do you think your strategy is going into this, knowing that you're going to be starting for the back of the grid?
Macklin's a good friend, and he suggested that an undercut would be the way to go. We'll kind of leave it at that. I've got kind of in my head what it might work, but we'll have to see. My object avoidance is not great, so starting from the back is going to be a bit of a struggle.
As you said, season three is upcoming in 2 weeks' time. The first race of the season, I think, is Barcelona on the 27th of August, so we will be live then. We'll actually have Macklin and Castle at the end of the race to tell you all the changes and stuff going into season 3. But with that being said, maybe give away some hints. What are you driving next season? Maybe what do you expect out of season 3? Your goals for next season?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we would have a bit of a bigger gap, so I haven't had time to think about the next car. What I do know is that oversteer is definitely my friend versus understeer, and there's not a lot of cars that fall into that category. I suspect I'll probably wind up in the Porsche, but I'd like to give a couple of cars a go before I make a final decision.
That's very fair. I think you'll have about a week or 2 weeks to decide. I think we're going to be doing a preseason race. I don't actually know. A lot of people I think are going to bow out of that race just because they probably haven't decided their car by that point, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that,
And then strategy for next season is probably just to get back to consistency. I was pretty inconsistent this season in between all sorts of penalties and just poor results intermittently. Some good ones and some bad ones, and I'd like to just be a lot more consistent next season. That's what brought me a third overall last season, and I'd like to try to get back to that.
Well, I know what brought you a third place last season. I currently have it sitting beside me, so We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
looking
see if
forward to you
that.
doing
We'll
that.
see if that luck transition's over. But I gotta deal with you guys on Paul Ricard first. So.
Yeah.
Damn, Frank Castle's 13th, and you might have some company back here.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, sandbags, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they're just, how many sandbags is he dragging behind the car? We'll see.
He's dragging a lot at this rate, but I'll move you back over. Thanks, Braun, so much for joining me. And good luck. Good luck trying to deal with it from the back.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Hey, really appreciate all the commentary. Looking forward to racing with you next
Oh,
season.
I'll be commentating round 6. That's for sure. I will not be driving that. I will not be driving that. All right, see ya.
Bye.
All right. I'm thinking I should just pull in Brees right now because he's sitting in the pits. Hi, welcome, Brees. I've pulled you right in because you're sitting in the pits, and I found an opportune, perfect time to do it. Should I grab your teammate?
If you can, I haven't spoken with him, so I'm not sure if he's ready or not.
I don't want to grab him and not, I don't want to be that guy. I'll quickly message him, but in the meantime, I'll ask some questions to you.
Ask away. I'm ready.
Yep, sorry. Yep, I was sending a text. So,
You're good.
Team on the Rush, as you know, struggled so far a little bit this season. With that being said, obviously we're going to be season 3 in a few weeks. Take me through this season. Just give me a recap.
Well, at the beginning of the season, I had a lot of technical issues that I had to sort out, so I wasn't able to race a few times. I had some pretty good performances, but I also had some pretty big flops. So for next season, I'm just hoping to be able to attend more races and be a little bit more consistent. Because right now, I'm either podium or dead last.
Yeah, Austria, you had the Red Bull Ring when we first started out with the season. You actually won in your class. You had an amazing start then, and as you said, technical difficulties, and your teammate as well. Just again, also technical difficulties. Technical difficulties seem to be your team name, Technical on the Rush.
Guess we shouldn't have taken Cloud Strike as a sponsor.
No, I guess really you shouldn't have. With that being said, what do you obviously you said that you want to be more consistent in season 3, but what does that mean? Does that mean just finishing a race? Does that mean being in the podium? Because at this rate, it looks like we can have up to 15 amateurs on the grid, like 45 people.
Yeah, I mean, I always am for more competition. It just creates for more close racing. But as for me being more consistent, it's just hopefully not spinning as much in races next season, because that's been my biggest downfall this season, has been spinning and causing some damage, and then spending lots of time in the pits.
Yeah, no, definitely. What is your goal for this race today? What is the goal for the end of season 2?
Honestly, my goal is to finish and hopefully keep that that 2-point lead I currently have over, I can't remember which driver it is. Give me a moment and I can tell you. 'Cause it's pretty close right now in the amateur class.
I think for you it's Bobby, because it's Malott versus Balyut, and Fossman I think is just straight up one.
Yes, I am 2 points ahead of Bobby right now, and
Bobby has just disappeared from my screen, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. But if I don't finish behind him, that's okay. Next season is a fresh start.
Yep, absolutely. That's all everyone needs is a fresh start nowadays. So thank you very much, Brees. I think you're just gonna have to move yourself to your team Discord.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no worries. Good luck this race.
Thank you. Have a great stream.
Thank you. So ideally, I either get Fossman or the Springfield Motorsports in here, but it appears they're still out on track. I need either Fossman, Kerbal, or Power. Ideally, all of them might not be a bad idea, but like, I need one of them. That's going to be definitely one of the more beautiful things about Paul Ricard, or at least for me, one of the more chaos ideas that is going to be on this, is the fact that like, that the ideal line is like also at the pit exit. So that might come and cause a little bit of collisions. All right, Kerbal's in the pits. We're going to snag him. All right, Kerbal, I've snagged you. You're mine now. Your teammate's still on the track, so I'll have to deal with him later.
Wait, what?
I've dragged you into the broadcast booth. Surprise, you're here now.
I am surprised. You've successfully surprised me.
I have surprised you. The problem is your teammate's still out on track, and that's mildly annoying me.
Do you want to chat with me while we wait?
Yes, I will just take you in the meantime. Ideally, I would have got... Oh, he's pulling over. He's mine now.
Go get him.
Meow.
Surprise him too.
Welcome, Power. You're in the broadcast booth. I saw you pull over, and I was like, he's mine!
Perfect.
All right, Springfield Motorsport, congratulations again on a good season. I still think you have to fight the Sandbag Syndicate for second in the championship, and I think MA70 Esport for first. I don't actually know how the math works for the Constructors' Championships, at least. But with Castle being 13th and Macklin being third, with you guys having a 1-2, I think you guys are in a pretty good position. But Kerbal, we'll start with you first. How do you think Season 2 went for you?
Well, it was kind of rough considering I only participated for half of it. 3 times I was out due to injury and vacation, and then 3 times I did not finish. So, partially my fault. Well, actually, no, it is completely my fault. But I am thankful to be teamed up with Max Power, who has put in a phenomenal effort and kept our team in the running.
I will say, Power. At 2 in the morning, I messaged Stalfko and was like, I don't think you have the championship locked up. I think Power can still beat you. But with the whole dropped rounds and stuff, it was screwing with my brain. But yeah, no, you sadly cannot win the championship. Stalfko has flat out outright won it. But you have locked in second place as a rookie in the overall / pro division, which hats off to you for that. But how do you think your season went from your point of view?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you did the math right. Stovko will fall back on his round at the Red Bull Ring with the 10th place, so he will be too far ahead with this round being a drop round. The season was great for me. I was like hoping to come in 5th overall. I didn't really know how strong the grid is going to be when I first joined, and I had a good time. I came in like 2nd, which I didn't expect. Also because Seniga is not was not racing last week, it's not racing this week, otherwise it would have been 3rd place. One thing that the standings show is also reflected in how the races went, is like there's quite a big gap ahead of me, and then there's quite a big gap behind me. I would have liked to have a little bit more like racing action rather than big gaps ahead of me, big gaps behind me during the races as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely parts where, like, Kerbal currently is in a massive fight overall between 10th and 15th that he has to worry about, at least in terms of the overall What can we expect out of season 3? Obviously, with season 3 coming up in 2 weeks, there's a little bit of a too short of a plan.
Yeah, so I will.
Are you guys going to continue to be a team in season 3? Like, what car are you driving? Like, give me some hints.
Yeah, so we were thinking about it and talking back and forth. I will probably go back into reserve driver role for the next season and take a step down here on this league.
Oh, that's a shame. You might actually be able to, with Stavka retiring, you might be the only one that can actually beat Saniga.
Yeah, the problem is when you guys said he's still like a second ahead of me, right, when it comes to pace on most tracks. So it's too much of a gap. It's really difficult to catch up to him. I see like there's really good battles about like P4, P5, P6. There's really close racing. A lot of people at a similar pace. I think Suniga is just still way too fast for me. And then there's a little bit of a drop. I mean, Neil is about my pace, but there's one person, right? And if one person's in racing, then it's quite a gap there.
Kerbal, what can we expect out of you then for season 3?
Well, I'll definitely be participating, but I'm not exactly sure what I'll be driving yet. I am working on liveries though, so I have a few potential candidates, but I'm going for loud and obnoxious.
If loud and obnoxious thinks what I think it means, I'm gonna hate everybody because there's information that I know.
Yeah, you're around the water cooler in the DRL Discord, so
Yeah.
you know what that means.
I know stuff that other people don't know, and like I'm really starting to hate the loud and obnoxious because everyone saw it in Suzuka and was like, "Oh my God, I want it." So, but then again, we're still in season 2. What can we expect for the what can we expect from this race today?
So I am expecting to finish. That is really all I'm trying to do.
And Power, I'm assuming, is expecting to win.
No, I'm expecting to finish. Like, I just need to get points. We're 15 points ahead right now of the Sandbag Syndicate in the team standings. So me and Power just need to maintain an advantage over Burt Macklin and Frank Castle to secure second place.
And
So that is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to finish the race. Paul Ricard is not one of my favorite tracks.
And I'm assuming Power just wants to straight up win because he has no competition today.
Yeah, so for me, like, no matter what I do, I'll be second place in the total standings. The only thing that keeps me from, like, completely sending it... right,
team game, my friend. The team game.
Right. Yeah, but other than that, it's, like, my best chance this whole season to get P1, and I think it'll be interesting with Neil being extremely close to me here to see what comes out of that.
I can't rule out Bradley Cooper either. For some strange reason, Mother just finds pace where it's not possible. But either way, you guys can. I think you guys can just move yourselves to your channel. I don't think I need to move you. But
No, you should ask the one question about Paul Ricard. What do we do on our spare time on the long straight?
Oh yeah, what do you have planned? I also got to get Nairati in quickly as well. So like, what do you guys have planned?
I'm drinking a White Russian.
So you're drinking a White Russian. Power, what are you doing in the long straight?
Well, yeah, the long straight is great when you have like new hardware equipment or something, or you want to make some minor adjustments, like swapping out the wheelbase or something. You got long straight ahead, and you can just.
I meant like hobbies, sir. Reading a book, drinking some scotch, like an interesting
like
answer would have been nice.
Making myself a cocktail would certainly be good. Things like that. I mean, there's a lot of time.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Good luck and have fun in the final race of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right, Nairati, with 3 minutes left in the free practice session, I'll try and make this quick. What are you looking forward to in season 3?
Season 3, bit of a cliche by now from me, but looking for a fresh start again. Obviously, it's no secret. I had some issues early on in the season with the hardware I was running at the time. But I switched that up. Had to revert back to pancake mode from the VR, which not really my go-to decision, but for financial, technical, and emotional health reasons, it's been a good change so far.
I will say this, because this is my funny question of the day. now that we're driving Paul Ricard and that long straight is longer than a airplane runway, what are you going to be doing during the long straight? What hobby will you be doing?
Well, you know what? I always like to keep my mind going, keep things firing, and so you know what? I actually, in my passenger seat here under the fire extinguisher, I've got a Sudoku lined up here. So I'm gonna be doing some mind puzzles and just keep my mind sharp while I wait for that corner to come up.
Kerbal said he's drinking a White Russian, so that's quite interesting. Power said he's going to make a cocktail.
Well, I'll make sure to give both of those guys a wide berth going into that braking zone.
The only one who's not going to be doing anything is Grant Zahara in that Ford Mustang, because that thing pulls down the straight like there's no tomorrow. Might as well be an airplane runway.
Yeah, I mean, that thing is very much nearly a drag racing car, so.
Other than that, yep. What is your plan for this race today?
For this race, still getting a feel for the flow of the track, so just nailing my apexes and exits, taking in and refining the technique that I've got, and gonna have to try to make this McLaren wide down that long back straight, as you mentioned, into that braking zone, and just defend as hard as I can. I know I have pace here to contend near the front, so I see to make sure that I hold position or gain positions out of the front of the field instead of losing them as I have in the last couple of races, and then go from there.
All right, Narati, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in the race, and we'll see you at the end.
Thank you.
All right, that was Nairati of Team On The Rush. We did not sadly get to have Fossman. I will not be alone in the broadcast booth. As soon as my co-host of today figures out what he's doing. Currently, the only one now out on track is Bradley. So he's currently got the track all to himself right now. For some strange reason, my mic on my Discord has gone completely out, so we'll figure that out currently as it stands right now. Oh, well, it says it's working. Okay, we're gonna move Stavko now. Thank you for joining me in the booth, Stavko. It's interesting that you're gonna be here instead of here with me instead of racing. Congratulations, you are a two-time world champion, and it is a shame that you will not be driving with us next season. It actually tugs on my heartstrings a bit. I want to be able to beat you again for the second time.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. Thank you for being able to join you in the commentator seat. It's going to be a pleasure and it's going to be fun. A little bit different experience for me. I've never experienced this, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, world champion. Is it world or is it just DRL champion?
I mean, at this point, you've won two of them. I'm confident to say you're world. I'm pretty confident as Power just destroys those two beams out on the end of the pit straight. Qualifying has started now. It's a 15-minute qualifying session. Track limits here are brutal because it's kind of a little bit of like, be here, don't be here. The track limits are kind of all over. I don't know if you've raced Paul Ricard in your career. What, like, ideally do you do here to set a fast lap? Did my mic give out there? Oh. Yeah, I was. Oh, okay. I was more or less asking you because obviously you're a driver and I'm technically not a driver just yet. Like, ideally, how do you go fast here around Paul Ricard? Like, what's the secret, so to speak?
So to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this track. I've raced here multiple times. iRacing doesn't have this track yet, so all the times I raced here was in Assetto Corsa. The reason I don't like it, I honestly cannot explain. It's just this track doesn't have a vibe for me. The combination of corners and the way how it's laid out, it's something weird. I guess it's fact of multiple factors. Maybe as you said, track limits could be one of the factors. I kind of I don't like tracks where the limits are issue because I like to go wide. I like to kind of use as much room as possible on track, and if the tracks are too sensitive for that, it doesn't work well with me. In terms of your question, like how you get fast here, like I said, I think the key to be fast here is to figure it out, the limits, and be very much on the edge, how far out and how far in and all that stuff you can go, because that can give you a lot of an advantage in terms of where you entering the corner, where you hitting an apex, and when you exiting. If you figure out those, that can give you an advantage, and speed you up a lot in this track, especially because you don't have any grass around, and if you find the spot which is kind of open and it doesn't have any restriction in terms of the game doesn't give you penalty, then you can gain a lot of time. So yeah, that's one of my things when I practice for this track or for the racing this track. First thing I do is kind of figuring out the track limits, going firstly wide and see if it gives me invalid lap or penalty, and I'm trying to narrowing it down until I'm not getting anything. So that's my strategy when I'm preparing on this track. So
I like that. I like that you go in depth, and yeah, I agree. It's one of these things like Paul Ricard. Definitely, you're like you've got to just find the limit and play within it. But like you have to get right on the line. You have to get right on that wire. And just as Power is going to come through the final corner now, I think he's kept his lap valid, at least when coming out. The race control mod doesn't like it. So Power's going to cross the line now, and he is going to open up with a 155.7. Zahara is behind in that Ford Mustang that is apparently an absolute puller on the straight. So we'll see what lap time he does. He's about 2 seconds behind. Hayes is second. Nairati is then first. He's actually gone faster than Power with a 155. Malot's going to be next across the line. He was invalid, so he starts another lap. Kerbal goes third. Bradley, I'm interested in Cooper's lap time because he's been that little sneaky bit fast. I don't know if did you race in Suzuka stuff, Ko?
I think I did. Wait, was it last year? Last week?
Yes, last week.
Yes, I did then.
Yeah. So you can understand, like, Cooper is surprisingly quick for some strange, odd reason now, as Macklin goes fourth.
Exactly. Well done. I mean, kudos to Cooper. I was surprised, honestly, last week he did really, really well. And especially the fact that he has a Nissan, which is not the strongest car in the game. So, well done.
Your teammate Liang is currently fighting for the Pro-Am division title with Hayes. So if he finishes ahead of Hayes, he'll win. But if Hayes finishes ahead of him, he wins because they're so close that the point differential doesn't matter. So it'll be just who's going to be first across the line. So far, track limits looks like they haven't caught anybody too out. Braun has a qualifying ban for his incident in the incidences, I should say, in Suzuka. So far, I don't think there's anybody that, like, with Braun being out, I don't think there's any surprises so far that, like, Bradley hasn't set a lap time yet. That's what I'm waiting for. But yeah, no, I haven't seen any surprises. Nairati invalidates. Power gets closer to Nairati, but not close enough. Hayes actually pops at fourth.
I'm quite curious how the battle for the first will play out today, with me not being there plus Sam is not being there. So it's gonna be a fun and interesting battle and thing to see. So I honestly don't have any favorite. I just wish that the best out of them will win. It looks like Nairati has really good pace, and McLaren, I think it's quite strong on this track, so that might play in his advance. But I'm pretty sure Power and Kerbal will not give him anything for free, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, Nairati has always had the best like qualifying pace. Like he got a pole position in Silverstone when I think Silverstone either you weren't there or like Saniga wasn't there or someone wasn't there, but he got pole position as Leon invalidates, so he's off to go again. Same with next actually across the line with the valid lap will be Power, and he's found a buttload of time so far. He's found about 6/10, and he's not even at the finish line yet. So like. He definitely has the qualifying pace. It's just his technical issues early on in the season with his VR and stuff like that. He wasn't able to fully unlock his potential as Bobby goes 11th fastest. So it'll be interesting to see how he rides with both Power and Macklin and Kerbal as they're all fast. And with, as you said, with you out with no Saniga, it'll be interesting to see how it'll. Now, mind you, did Power pull? Power invalidated. Oh no, he crossed the line. Never mind. The sheet hadn't updated yet.
So do you use some kind of external app to
yes.
see the? Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I have my race control mod. Beautiful. So, as Kerbal's going to come in next across the line, I think he might get ahead of Nairati. It's going to be close. Yes, he will. Oh. He will get ahead of Nairati by not very much. It's very close. Fossman's going to be next. He's invalidated, so he won't get a lap time in. As Castle goes off into the pits, he remains 8th. Balyut's going to be next across the line. He's going to come in with about 4/10 improvement, if that. So he'll still stay 9th. He'll stay ahead of Breeze. Who's going to be next across the line? That would be Malott. Nope, he invalidated. Breeze also invalidated, so he gets to go again. Leung looks like he's finally going to come across with a valid time. What can your MA70 teammate pull out of the bag? Not quicker than Hayes, that's for sure. So Hayes in 5th, he's in 10th. They're separated by over 2 seconds. So,
okay, so just out of curiosity, I opened LFM leaderboard for the Paul Ricard and the fastest laps by car and by qualifying lap and by the race. And the fastest car in qualifying pace is Porsche, which I'm quite surprised just because Paul Ricard has quite a long straights and Porsche is well known for not being very fast on straight. So that's quite interesting. But if I check the fastest race pace, the fastest car is Ford, which is quite obvious, and that's what I expected to be fasted also on the qualifying. But yeah, we'll see. So I guess Grand Zahara has a little bit of an advantage, but we'll see.
Well, so far the two Porsches, Malott and Rodriguez sitting 5th, Malott having yet to set a lap time, same with Fossman, as Bradley Cooper in the Nissan actually goes 2nd, which is incredible because, as you said, this car is not very ideal for any of this track. Currently, the track limit's getting Malott and Fossman all out of sorts with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go left in the qualifying session. These are the final runs for the drivers to try and improve their positioning. That pit entrance scares the ever-loving crap out of me. Because you have drivers coming out for their laps, and you have, drivers wanting to come out to get ready to do their out laps, and it's just actual chaos.
It is, yeah. It's not the best pit entry from all of the trucks. And yeah, I'm an expert to mess up all these pit entries, so.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're necessarily an I mean, you did when did you get DQ'd in Imola?
I think that was Imola, and I think that was highlight of my season when I entered the pits in, I think the limit is what, 80 kph, and I entered 150 or something.
Yeah, you definitely got the score. My highlight of the season is beating you at Spa because you got an 80-second drive-through penalty. That's my highlight of the season.
No, you did very well in the fact that it was your only one race in the in the calendar, plus doing it on the, I believe you did it on the pad, right? I mean on the, how's it go?
Controller. Yep.
Yeah, so it's impressive.
Oh yeah, no. I'm kind of happy they stuck me in amateur now that I have the wheel. That they didn't shove me in Pro-Am, because then I'd just be crying, because I'd be like, I can't do this, I can't live up to the expectations. As Ricky Bobby invalidates his lap, he'll have another chance to go again. Next across the line is going to be Fossman, finally with a valid lap time. So far, he will not be shut out, so let's see what he can get as he crosses the line. He will finish ahead of Malott, as not by much, actually. It's pretty close. Next across the line is going to be Nairati. He will have one... Actually, no, he'll still have 2 opportunities to go because it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, so there's still plenty of time.
And I'm actually looking at Sandbag Syndicates. I guess that's the name of the team. I guess they're trying a special strategy of getting drag to each other or tow. Let's see if it's gonna work. I think they're entering the fast laps, and Frank is following, or Castle is following. Macklin, so I'm quite curious if it's gonna help them and how they're gonna end up this lap.
Like down the straight, I could understand that helping, but like in the corners, I really don't think it helps much with the dirty air and stuff like that as Zahara begins his next flying lap. I can only imagine how that would go in terms of like corners and stuff like that, because they can fit in my Helicam frame shot. They're that close.
Yeah, well, we'll see. This is the main point where they can gain. They're entering the main straight, so this is where actually Castle can make. And I guess that's their point. Macklin trying to help Castle bring him up. So we'll see how it's gonna help.
That would help him if he didn't have an invalid lap. So right now, the only one that's like, I can see if someone invalidates or not. Cooper starts his final flying lap along with Bobby. There's less than a minute to go in this qualifying session. So Hayes is out, Balot's out, Balyut's out, Braun has a qualifying ban. So those are the drivers that are currently on their qualifying laps right now. Nairati actually is currently on pace to beat Cooper. He's not on pace to beat Power, but he is on pace to beat Cooper. As long as he nails this final turn, which he lost about 2/10 in that final corner. He'll have enough to beat Kerbal, but it won't be enough to beat Cooper. He can go again, though, as we head now down into the final few seconds as someone goes into the pits. I do believe that was Fossman. Rodriguez is next across the line. No improvement from him. Brees is going to be next across the line. Some improvement from him. He'll get ahead of Balyut, crucially. Macklin 6th, Castle still 9th. They can go again, but this is it now. Leung's going to be next across the line. Is his lap time going to be good enough to beat Fossman and Malott? Yes, it will. He will finish inside the top 10, crucially. Zahara is out of qualifying. He's both invalid and definitely not improving on his time. Next across the line is going to be Kerbal. He's found so far about 3/10. That might get him ahead of Cooper, as Cooper's in the pits now. Same with Nairati, so Nairati at best will finish 3rd.
Looks like Power's still pushing, so he might still improve.
He's not going to need it because Power is going to get pole position. Castle's improving by quite a lot. Brees is improving by quite a lot. Brees is actually ahead of both Power and Macklin, so he's getting a double push. Macklin is actually behind by about 3/10. So he might just, I'm wondering if he'll do the slingshot effect here for Castle. No, he won't. Well, Macklin's finding all the time in that turn section there. Castle's found about almost a full second of time. They're catching up to Brees quite quickly. Brees is going to have to get a move on here, as Brees has lost almost all of his time. He was up about 6/10 down the straight. He's now about even on his previous lap time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Castle is currently up by about a 2.1.
Yeah, that would put him.
That would put him ahead of Zahara. That's it. That's all who he would be beating.
Okay. Well, still something.
That's he's gained about 1.3 seconds to gain one position. That's
Yeah, There's a huge gap.
There was a gap there. There was a gap. All right, with that being said, there is a 5-minute intermission, and as always, we will start from the back of the grid and work our way forward as we introduce the drivers one by one. In this final qualifying session, we appreciate all the drivers that have driven for us so far this season, and we welcome them back for season 3 if they so desire. Stavko, as Izzy's in the booth with me, has already committed to his retirement. We wish him all the best. It'll be sad that we won't have an automatic winner for the race with you. We'll have to rely on Sanika for that now. But see, the problem is Sanika spins. You don't. You just disqualify yourself in the pit lane. So, you'll deeply be missed. And as a 2-time world champion, it'll be interesting to. It'll be very sad to not be able to call your name out. So. But thank you for joining me in the broadcast booth for the final race. I do really appreciate it.
No worries, and thank you for always spreading a good word about me.
It's all what's up?
Yeah, but I saw the details of the season 3, and it's really tempting.
She's like,
especially the power set. I should do it with a slower car, and I'm really considering to do some of the races in Aston. The
V12. Yeah.
V12. So that could be fun, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. But in the meantime, we'll go through the grid orders. Spencer Braun, because of his penalty point qualifying ban when he got absolutely hammered in Suzuka, starts 16th. He's got Ricky Bobby for company on his row, as Bobby is ahead of him in 15th. Ballyut with another good strong showing. He's almost in the podium places. He currently holds the final podium position in the amateur standings. He's got Brees for company as Brees is fighting Bobby. He just needs to finish ahead of him to finish ahead of Bobby in the standings. So Brees has a little bit of a battle going on there with his own right. The season's lost, but not according to him, so he has the opportunity. Malott can finish in second if he wins the race. He can finish second in the amateur division if he wins the race, but his main goal is finishing ahead of Ballyut, which he has done so far in the qualifying, but it'll be interesting to see how everyone handles turn 1. Fossman of the Party Pickles again shows how well the Party Pickles have done this season. A consistent 1-2 between them. Ches sadly got injured over the past few days. He wasn't able to join us. He wasn't able to join me in the booth either. He's watching me on the big screen right now as it speaks. Ches, I look forward to having the possibility of even racing you next season when I step out of this booth and be on the field with them. It'll be an absolute honor to do that as a full-time driver, but I'll still be in the booth every now and then. Leung currently sits on the 5th row. He's got Grant Zahara for company. Leung is trying to finish ahead of Hayes to win in that Pro-Am division. That is all he has to do. That is his job today. Just finish ahead of Hayes, and we can call him the Pro-Am division champion. He was Am champion last year. He has a chance to Pro-Am champ this year. Zahara had a few, sadly, bumps in the road with his sandbagging. I am watching sandbagging AM. So with that being said, Zahara had a few bumps in the road. He got injured in the middle of the season, so he had to miss a few races. But the Ford should absolutely pull here on these straights. So let's see. He starts 9th. Let's see where he can finish. Hopefully he doesn't get any screen lags. Frank Castle has all the sandbags in his car because he's currently starting 8th, and he's got Hayes for company. Hayes, again, has the opportunity to win the Pro-Am division if he finishes ahead of Leung. Frank Castle is just looking to try and maybe help out his Sandbag Syndicate teammate as they fight with the Springfield Motorsport in the Constructors' Championship. Burt Macklin, the other Sandbag Syndicate in front of Frank Castle, has Rodriguez for company. Rodriguez took a break in the middle of the season. For what reason, I sadly don't know. I guess he was trying to find himself, and he has definitely found himself considering he is in the top 5 and qualified ahead of one of our race winners, Burt Macklin. So good job for him as we have 30 seconds left to go, so I gotta go quick. Nairati currently sits fourth, another good qualifying start for him as he just sadly misses out on the top 3. Bradley Cooper, when he's here, is an absolute god apparently, and I need to put some respect on the name. However, I have a feeling, wink wink, that he will have a bad race. And it is a Springfield Motorsport 1-2. Power has a chance to avenge the race when he didn't get because of you, Stofko, and he's got Kerbal for company on his right. The Springfield Motorsport said in their interview that they may race each other, but it'll be interesting to see if Power just straight out pulls ahead. So they're getting ready to go now towards the start-finish line. What do you think? What do you think will happen here? All right, folks, we're getting ready to slowly come across the line. Let your predictions in the chat below, as it is going to get sweet and spicy here for the final race of this DRL season. Sit back and relax as the green flags wave. Power is off, and he is off mightily quick. He is gone. Bradley on the right of Nairati looks to get good. Can he maybe get ahead of Kerbal here? He breaks a little early. Everyone seems to be all fine and dandy in the back. No one's lost out any places. Balyut slaps all the way to the back. Fossman squeezes out Leung. Someone's getting all squirrely up ahead. Rodriguez loses out to Macklin, but he's fighting Macklin quite well. Same with Hayes and Castle, but so far everyone seems to have survived right now. No one's made any contacts yet. If they are, they're very minor at best. Nairati's lost a few places, and Hayes and Nairati have made contact. Braun has to be careful as he avoids all the collisions. As Nairati and Hayes tumble down the order, Bradley still sits third. He's behind Kerbal and Power. Rodriguez, Castle, and Castle has moved all the way up into fifth. That sandbagging, I can't say that word. As he's gonna fight with Rodriguez. Oh my God, the Ford of Zahara absolutely pulling on the Mercedes, both Mercedes even. He has to slow down because he's gonna run out of room. My God, the framework of that, as Zahara is going to fight both Sandbag Syndicate here into the turn as both Sandbag Syndicates almost collide. Zahara's going to go down the inside on both of them. He's sadly not going to win out on that case as Balyut spins out, and that's going to work out for Nairati and Hayes as they gain a place. But my goodness, the Ford just pulls on every car down the straight.
That's a great stuff. Yeah, like I said, Ford is the beast, and especially on these straights, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it has most definitely made a difference because, like, my goodness, as Braun's definitely going to get ahead of Brees there. Cooper still on the back of Kerbal. He's letting him know he's there, but Power's off and running. That was insane as Macklin and Castle were both trying to get Rodriguez, and it looks like Leung is maybe, oh, there's contact there. Oh, that's unfortunate for Nairati as he just gets collected in that mishap between Dog and Leung. Leung sadly, well, not sadly, Zahara got ahead of, that was a bit of a dive bomb maybe by Castle there.
Yeah, and looks Ricky Bobby has also problems. He was pinned. Maybe that was a contact.
No, I caught the contact. That was contact with Leung.
Oh, a shame.
As Zahara is going to start pulling out and trying to get ahead of Macklin here. Yeah, no, it was contact between Leung and Bobby, and Nairati sadly got caught up in that contact, so he's got a fair amount of damage. Fossman with that draft trying to maybe look at Braun here. Braun started 16th. He's now 7th. Like, he is almost in 2 laps time, almost gained 10 places as that braking marker is gone out of existence. Actually, almost lands in front of Fossman as we're now going to get out of the helicam here.
That's Alonso's start. He was inspired by Alonso, but I was checking Cooper at his run on the straight, and he was catching up the Lamborghini quite a lot as well. So it looks like that Nissan has some power in it. Probably it has some lower balance of performance, some weight down, so that
It actually doesn't. It's just flat. There's no extra.
Really?
There's no taken away. Yeah. There's no extra. There's no taken away. It's just zero. It is literally zero. But the slipstream effect down this straight is absolutely mental. That is definitely another reason as those cones just get destroyed because they're the racing line essentially.
Yeah, and I would, but earlier I said I said the McLaren is strong on this track, but it's actually fifth in LFM ratings or in LFM leaderboards. It's actually fifth, and Lamborghini is actually second right after the Porsche, which I would never say. So Power and Kerbal has quite a good car and strong car. So I assume if they don't make any mistakes in terms of their strategy or driving, it should be clean race for them.
Ron has managed to get ahead of Zahara, but sadly, and I keyword the sentence sadly, he passed him before this straight. So Zahara is going to say, I apologize for that, but I'm going to need that place back real quick. As you can see, he just quickly gets and gets and gets the slipstream plus the Ford power, the American muscle, just pulls and pulls and pulls, and Zahara wants that inside. Braun's giving him a car width and nothing more. Whoa, that was almost contact, but good job by both drivers to stay away from that. Zahara looking for the inside overtake on Braun. Didn't get it down the straight. They're fighting side by side through the double apex right-hander, but Braun looks like he's made that stick well enough. Leung and Breeze are fighting out. Leung goes wide. Hey, oh my goodness. Fossman has had a moment. Castle's going to get ahead. Funny enough, just as I mentioned before with the Pro-Am Championship, Leung and Hayes are fighting it out. And sure enough, they're both 12th and 13th, so they're right in front of one another. So that battle is for the championship.
And I think we have a nice setup for a battle for the fourth place, I think, because Macklin is catching up Rodriguez very quickly. And from what we know, Rodriguez is quite aggressive driver who doesn't give anyone anything for free. And Macklin is actually diving inside.
Macklin dives on the inside and manages to get it. However, Rodriguez is going to keep fighting it up as they now approach. Nope, that's the wrong button, folks. I gotta switch to a T. Ooh, here we go. Ooh, they're gonna go side by side. They're gonna make contact here. Rodriguez not giving Macklin any space whatsoever. And who's gonna be ahead on the straight? So far, it looks like Rodriguez is ahead of Macklin. Which car is faster on the straight? Oh, Hayes and Breeze have a collision. Nairati benefits from that, says thank you very much, have a nice day. As that is sadness for Hayes, that might be his championship over. We'll see, there's plenty of race left with 38 minutes to go. Rodriguez trying to stay on that inside marker crucially as him and Macklin go side by side. Rodriguez just gets a car length ahead and off he goes.
And this is how crucial is this corner, because when you're following a car and you're outside of the slipstream, it's really, really hard to nail it, which we could see in Macklin. And again, I'm quite surprised by Porsche's power on the straight. Honestly, when I was racing Porsche a few months ago, I remember that it was really lacking power on the straights. But now we could see that Rodriguez was able to kind of maintain his gap, even though Macklin had decent toe. So it's good to see that Porsche has that power.
Well, in the quarters, it seems that Macklin does have an advantage as him and Rodriguez are about to have another fight. Cooper is within a second of Kerbal. Castle trying to get within a second of Zahara. Crucially, I think Burke Macklin's going to come in behind Rodriguez going into turn one. He's biding his time. He's waiting for his moment. Ideally, you want to make that overtake either in the straight or the corner after the straight. So we'll see. Go ahead.
Heads off for both of the drivers. A previous lap, it was really, really nice battle.
Oh yeah.
Door to door, with no contact almost. And like I said, Rodriguez is an aggressive driver, but this battle goes really well. They respect each other, but they're on it. So really good to see.
Oh, we lost the driver. I think we lost Bobby. Yeah, Bobby has disappeared from my screen, sadly. He had a fair bit of contact and sadly wasn't able to finish the race. As Macklin now comes again on Rodriguez. Hayes got ahead of Brees. Let's see, where can Macklin go? Macklin wants the outside. Rodriguez gave him a car width and nothing more. Let's see what happens as they're going to go side by side here. Down into turn 1, and Rodriguez looks like he slipped in again. However, Macklin might have a rebuttal. Sadly, he does not. And Macklin has to wait again another lap behind Rodriguez.
Great battle. I think now Macklin has to kind of settle down behind Rodriguez and figure out his weaknesses, follow him a couple laps, and then use some unexpected moment and stick it inside or outside, because as you can see, Rodriguez has really strong pace and he can defend very well. Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen. I think now Macklin needs to use his a little bit of his brain and smartness. Let Rodriguez to settle down now, follow him up, kind of put him in a little bit, kind of like sleep him down, and then out of nowhere he needs to use some kind of a movement. We'll see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, bide your time and wait for your opponent to make a mistake. I think Macklin got a better out there. It's tough to see with these camera angles. They're not very nice here at Paul Ricard. As Macklin goes for the inside dive. However, the inside dive quickly becomes the outside, and they're going to go side by side again as the outside becomes the inside. And I think Macklin's finally done it. However, as you said, that Porsche seems to have some power on the straight. So it'll be interesting to see how much Rodriguez catches here. And don't count out Braun just yet. He's also slowly coming into this battle. However, here comes Rodriguez, the slipstream, the power of the Porsche. Where will it get us? As Fossman leads a train behind him with Malott, Leung, and Nairati.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, I don't think it's going to be enough either as they quickly approach the corner. Unless Rodriguez does an incredible dive. Ooh, he thought about it. However, I think Macklin's got this overtake. However, this battle is definitely not over. But we'll quickly transition as we have Fossman, Malott, Leung, and Nairati all battling it out for that 9th place position. Nairati is going to go side by side with Leung through this corner here. As they both go almost a little bit wide, but it looks like Nairati won out on that battle. Your teammate falls further and further down. However, he's got 10 seconds to Leung, or Leung's got 10 seconds to Hayes. So as long as he doesn't have a mistake, he should be fine. Rodriguez slowly losing ground to Macklin. Macklin's already almost a second out. He's gone. Ooh, Malott's had a moment. He's actually behind Leung now. I must have missed that in my transition away. Nairati now looking to try and catch Fossman here down this straight. The McLaren having an absolute run on another McLaren. However, Fossman's going to block off that attempt. Ooh, Nairati dips a little bit wide, allowing Leung a moment of a chance. However, it's blocked off very well by Nairati against your teammate. He's going to have to work a little bit maybe to get back up to Fossman, but it shouldn't be too far as Hayes maybe looks for the overtake on Leung. Looking to bide his time, cherry pick his moment. Hayes sadly not finding that moment, outbraked himself, almost colliding with Leung. However, oh my goodness, that McLaren is absolutely pulling. Nairati pulling on Fossman. Wants to get him before that corner. 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. Are you eating? What are you having for dinner?
Oh, I thought I muted my.
I can hear your cereal box as Nairati attempts to go for Fossman. He's going to take the inside while Fossman takes the outside. 0.1 is the gap. Nairati goes for the inside lane. Fossman takes the outside. However, Nairati, a pro, Fossman, an amateur. Nairati makes it look easy getting past Fossman as Macklin now has to fight off Braun and Rodriguez. Cooper still keeping it close with Kerbal, though. That's what I find. Ooh, Braun pits! Braun, the first driver to pit, and does it before even the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, I feel like in movie theater. I'm enjoying the
Do
action.
you how do you feel about that pit? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's too early?
I think it's right about the correct time now. It depends on what he's looking for, if you want to undercut or overcut. Who is he battling with?
He was battling with Rodriguez and Macklin.
Yeah, so he's looking for undercut. We'll see how it's gonna play out. Honestly, undercut can be strong. It depends on what's the tire management of the others, but tires usually are dead if you're really pushing on it after those 30 minutes. So
Now,
if
go ahead, finish. I'll say what I need to say after.
yeah, if he will be able to get the free air after he's going to be back on track, plus he will have a decent pace on his outlaps, that I think can play in his role. So we'll see. I did the same thing in I believe, what was it? The English track.
Silverstone.
No, I don't know what's the name. Whatever, but I did it in one of the races when I was stuck behind the train of 3 cars, and it was, I think, 35 minutes to go, and I decided, rather than battling with them, I went in.
Was that Snetterton? Are you thinking
Yes,
of
that's
Snetterton?
correct.
Yeah.
And really, it played out in my advance, because yeah, I had free air after I came out, and I could push. And then when I came out, I was actually P1, so...
Yeah, because that was you and, I think that was you and Braun, because Braun came out right as you were coming by, and he made it close. Castle now pits, actually, so I think now, I wonder if that's in response to Braun, but Braun was way ahead before that, so... Leung looking for an attempt on Fossman. Cooper keeping it close with Kerbal. Cooper could definitely undercut Kerbal here. Yeah, no, that's definitely the important part. If you want to do something like that, where if you want to undercut, you just have to make sure you don't undercut into slower traffic. And that's kind of the risk you take as a pro driver, where you risk undercutting into these slower drivers.
Yep, that's exactly problem of undercut. That's why Formula One has so many engineers or so many tactical stuff to look over the data, because they want to make sure. Unfortunately, here you don't have that option, but you're kind of trying to believe that, or kind of bet in luck and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm curious how it's going to play out. It looks like Power has a stronger pace than Kerbal. I checked it like 5 minutes ago, and he was 1 second. Now he's 1 second further away, so he's pulling away. Oh, it looks like Rodriguez made a little bit of the mistake, a little slide, and that cost him about 2-3 seconds, because he was like
he was right behind. Yeah, he was right behind Macklin. Now the problem is he's got the Ford, he's got the Mustang Power behind him as Hayes gets past him a lot. Now Hayes is catching Leung. Leung's about 5.5 seconds ahead. Leung's trying to get ahead of Fossman and seemingly can't do it. Cooper has gotten a lot closer to Kerbal than he has at any point so far. So if he keeps it this close down the straight, I argue he might have an opportunity to get Kerbal here.
Yep, and I'm worried that this costs Rodriguez a chance to fight for the 4th place, but we'll see. Pits can change everything. There's you can just make a slight mistake and you can lose so much in pits, so we'll see how it all plays out. But I just wanted to say regarding Porsche is really good, a strong car on 1 lap pace, but the really downside of the car is that it lacks at the end of the stints, because it uses a lot of its tires throughout the stint, and this is what we can see. Rodriguez is actually struggling to kind of keep the grip on, and that's why he's sliding. So we'll see.
Cooper gets really close, really close to Kerbal, but sadly he's not close enough. He was 0.8 at the start of the straight, so he needs to be within 0.5 or 0.4 to have an opportunity. With that being said, Nairati and Brees both team on the Rush Mumbers pits. I think both Nairati and Brees are going to have extended pit stops due to the fact they do have damage from their incidences. And just quickly taking a look at the incident sheet, yeah, it's sadly a pretty big one. So we'll review those when we get into a more, I guess, time state where Nairati and Castle come very close, but Castle is going to win out that battle outright. Nairati will have the advantage when it gets closer to the end of the race because he pit behind Castle. Cooper trying to keep it close with Kerbal here. He's down the pit straight right now. Brees manages to avoid this battle as Brees is gonna pull out ahead of Macklin. No.
Yeah, Cooper is doing a really good job again. I have to say, his performance past two races was very strong, and now keeping up with Kerbal, I think now he needs to wait a bit, wait what's going to happen throughout the pits, and then push. I think he needs to keep his pace as it is now, keep it behind Kerbal, and wait for the pit. So we'll see how that's going to play out.
Leung boxes now. He's going to box ahead of Hayes. Now, Cooper is 0.7. He was 0.8 last time. So I'm interested to see how Zahara's actually caught up to Rodriguez here. He's within a second. So I'm interested to see how much that Ford pulls on this straight here. He's about 1 second at the start of the straight. Cooper might get side by side here with Kerbal. He will. Kerbal's going to take the inside. Cooper's going to take the outside as they both go into the corner. Who's going to win out? It's going to be Kerbal. Kerbal's going to win out in that fight to the corner.
That was quite brave from Cooper. He tried to stay on outside, and that could be very dangerous over there. That corner can be very abusive, so we'll see.
Nairati's actually already on the back of Castle. He's already within that second mark, so definitely would be a feather in the cap for Nairati to get ahead of Castle.
But this is playing out to Power's cards, because I believe this battle slowing down a bit Kerbal, so I think Power is heading to his win in case there's not going to be any issues.
Power pits, so it'll be interesting to see how that all works up in the scheme of things. Leung actually came out close to Nairati, but not close enough to, I feel like, make a difference, as Rodriguez pits and allows Zahara to streamline down the straights in his Ford. I think if Cooper can keep it within 0.5, 0.4 of Kerbal as he gets down towards the straight, I feel like he has an opportunity. Right now it's 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. Like, it's in the range that it might be able to do something, but I don't think it'll be enough. It was 0.92 laps ago, it's 0.8, now it's 0.7. So he's getting a 0.1 second faster each time they go through this section. So if they were side by side the last time, what is it going to be this time? As that Nissan is pulling on that Lamborghini, my God!
That's what I'm saying.
As here they go side by side again. This time Cooper takes the inside, Kerbal takes the outside. We're past the halfway point, and again, Kerbal seems to win out against Cooper.
And this is really good job from Kerbal, and his defensive driving was outstanding, because being outside, it's almost 90% lost, and he managed to keep it in front, which is really good.
Nairati going with the super outside line to try and get a better exit against that Mercedes, and so far that might have just worked out in his favor. It's at 0.2 the gap now, 0.1. But sadly, it's not going to be enough to get ahead of Castle. He's going to have to wait it out. Castle almost goes a little bit too deep. Nairati taking different lines to try and get a better exit against the Mercedes. He's just looking for an opportunity to get past the Sandbag Syndicate. Castle holding him up. Oh, who you said? Oh, what happened?
Well, I saw Nairati breaking up quite late. I for a second thought that he's gonna collect Castle. I thought he had to have a little bit of a ass squeeze, but
all right.
We'll see.
Well, Zahara jumps into the pits now. Nairati on the back of Castle now. Point to the gap. And he'll have the opportunity here if he wants it. Gap at 0.1. Nairati streams over to the left-hand side. He'll take the outside. And it looks like he'll make this overtake stick pretty easily. However, I don't think Castle will have... Nope, Castle will have no argument whatsoever, it seems. As Nairati looks to be faster than Castle, finally gets ahead of Castle and streamlines off into the night sky.
Yeah, I think Castle was too generous in this one. He could give him a little bit more space, or kind of pull himself a little bit closer towards Nairati. He was too much of an inside, and that compromised his whole corner, which gave Nairati a position.
Zahara comes out ahead of Nairati, comes out ahead of Castle.
Oh, Castle kind of tried to stick himself inside quite aggressively, but good job to Nairati predicting it. And yeah, they're still in the battle. It looks like a hot battle, so we'll see how it's going to play out.
Cooper pits. He doesn't want anything more to do with Bradley. Or, Cooper pits. He doesn't want anything more to do with Kerbal. It'll be interesting to see where Power comes out now. So it'll be Power versus Cooper out on the exit.
But if I'm not mistaken, Braun undercutted Rodriguez, right?
I think so. I actually think, yeah, he did. Because Braun was in a fight with Rodriguez and Macklin.
That's
so, yeah.
what I'm saying. Good job to him.
Braun's undercut him real good. He's kind of undercut him by like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I said. He did really good job on those outlaps. He had free air, and plus with Rodriguez, with those used tires, he made some mistakes, which cost him a bunch of time. So yeah, this is a power of undercut.
Fossman now pits. Cooper still sits in the pits though. Power's just coming down the straight. And Bradley finally gets on the move. However, it's not nearly going to be close enough. Power rides off into the sunset. Macklin and Kerbal still have to pit, but so far it looks like Cooper is going to still stay out third. Now, importantly, we'll see how his outlap is compared to when Kerbal pits. As there
For some reason, I cannot click on Kerbal, so hopefully he's all right.
Yep.
Kerbal?
Yep, he's fine. He's all good. He's fine and dandy. He's currently just approaching the penultimate corner. He's almost on the pit straight.
Got it.
He's still trying to catch him a lot, it seems.
I would assume he would pit now. Let's
nope.
see.
Oh. He didn't go into the white line. He crossed the. I don't know.
That could be a problem.
That might be a problem. We'll see. As Macklin also now pits, so he won't inherit the lead of the race. I do believe Power is going to inherit the lead of the race. It'll be interesting to see where Cooper comes out in relation to Kerbal. That's going to be the race that's going to be the highlight package that we look for. As Hayes is going to do his best to try and get past Malott. At this rate, Leung would be the Pro-Am champion, pending penalties and stuff like that, because there will be penalties handed out, I believe. Hello, Norris. Sad you couldn't race with us today, but glad you're in the chat now. RD12 that is making a joke because I heard your bowl thing, and I was like, are you eating?
I was having a tuna salad.
Honestly, it sounded like you were eating a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, it was a bowl, but not a cereal.
All right, Power gets ahead. What about Kerbal? Kerbal's out. Oh, the overcut works wonders. Oh, Macklin. Maybe Macklin can get ahead of Cooper. Nope. Ooh, Braun though. Braun and Kerbal. Or Braun and Macklin. Oh, it's going to be close. Braun has undercut Macklin.
Very strong performance.
Braun gets himself from starting 16th into 4th.
Well, he's fixing his reputation from the last race when I believe he had a lot of troubles on the track, so he compensating in this race and doing a great job, so heads off. But it's still not one.
No,
There's
there's still 15.
Yeah.
Folks, this race is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Track limits and drive-through. Everyone has survived the pit entry, but the track limits is what I feel like might get people, as I can't see their warnings. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But right now, Macklin is doing his damnedest to try and catch Braun. And he's at .1 now. Macklin goes off to the left. Braun gives him the space. They're going to go side by side. They keep going. Macklin pulls back to behind Braun. Braun has to do his damnedest to try as he cuts off Macklin a little bit there. But so far, they're keeping it clean. They're keeping it real. Rodriguez is 5.2 seconds behind this battle. He's like, please keep battling. Keep forcing yourselves to go slower. Yeah, Ches is out tonight with injury. Rodriguez is like, yes, please keep battling. I want the opportunity. I want the chance to try and fight for this 4th place position. However, with him being 5.3 seconds behind, it might be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about pit stops. It's really crucial to make it right, because if you do a slight mistake, it can cost you a lot, and we can see it in the battle for 3rd or for 2nd, where Cooper before the pits he was right behind the Kerbal, and now he's losing 5.3 seconds, which is quite a big margin, and I think it's going to be difficult for him to catch it up until the end. So.
Cooper on his last lap was a 155.2. The fastest lap's a 155.1. He has the pace he has the pace. It's just, can he get back up to Kerbal? With 13 minutes left to go, he's 6 seconds back. I don't know if he can. But the fact... Yep. Oh, speaking of which, Frank Castle has a drive-through penalty.
Well, now it's going to come, all those penalties, all those track limits will be showing off now, so we'll see who's the best.
They're literally side by side. They could not have been more side by side. There was like a pixel gap between the two, as Braun still stays ahead of Macklin, and Frank Castle sits in the pits and thinks about what he's done.
I have to say, this section is really difficult to go between or a side by side, or even more.
Oh, Macklin and Braun touch. Macklin sniffed the inside. Macklin, I think. Oh, yeah, Macklin. Oh, Macklin.
He's gonna leave him.
No, he let him go, but I don't understand why he stopped. Because him stopping not only has allowed Zahara the opportunity to maybe think about this. Nairati's 10 seconds back. He has no care in this. But Rodriguez has actually gone up to 4th place now because of this.
Yep.
He was like, thank you very much, through goes Hamilton moment.
Yeah, that was questionable moment. Macklin definitely had to give the position back, but why he did it in the style he did it, that's gonna be maybe questioned after the race, because he lost a lot. So, yeah.
Well, he might get a penalty point for the move, but time penalty wise, we'll see. We'll let the stewards handle that decision. It's the final race. It's the final race of the season, so we'll see how lenient or not lenient they are.
But I'm paying attention to the times of Power and Kerbal, and it looks quite interesting. The time difference is kind of changing as the laps goes. When the Kerbal came out from the pits, it looks like he made some time on Power throughout the pits. He gained, I think, half a second. Now he's Now he's again 3.8 seconds behind Power, but one lap ago he was 4.5 seconds. So Power had to make some mistakes. So we'll see. That can also be an interesting battle. If Power will not keep it consistent and Kerbal will, it can also be a battle for the first place.
We'll see how that goes. Currently, Power in line for his first win of the season. We're gonna look back on the replay footage now because we have some time. Castle and Nairati just collide there. Just looking back on the footage, I'm gonna actually go into helicopter cam for this because helicopter cams are better for overall incidences. Just Nairati there come back on the track.
Yeah.
It'll be
unfortunate moment, but still Nairati is responsible of his return. So
I'm questioning that. I'm not laying blame. I'm just simply questioning. Yeah, Liang and Fossman came together, and Balyut and Bobby came together all in the same corner. But
is
like
this the
it
first
was.
lap? I think you reviewed.
Yeah, I'm
right?
looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at first lap incidences.
Yeah,
while keeping an eye on the overall, obviously. Braun's actually caught back up to Rodriguez. He's within a second, but he's not close enough that I need to worry about it just yet.
Can you review the most recent incident between Braun and Macklin?
Yep, I'm gonna get to it. I'm just looking at all the incidences right now.
Yep.
Because you had Hayes and Balyut coming oh, that's just unfortunate for Balyut. He's just turning the corner.
Meanwhile, I can see the Power extended his gap again a bit, so it looked like that was a tiny mistake by Power earlier, so we'll see how it's going to play out. Cooper is 4.7 seconds behind Kerbal, so I think he was 5 point something, so he's gaining a bit, but like you said earlier, I don't think that's going to be enough.
That'll be interesting how the stewards rule that one. Speaking of which, Breeze is actually spun. Oh, he's got to be careful where he comes back on track. Well, he looks to be safe now. He can go. I lost my mouse cursor there for a second. Hayes on the back of Fossman. However, he's too far. Unless Liang spins or has a moment so far, he's currently champion. In the Pro-Am division, at least. Bradley Cooper actually has the fastest lap of the session now. He's got a 1:55.007.
That's very impressive.
That's beaten Power's time. So, see, the problem is Cooper has the pace, but I feel like it's too late. Like it's too little, too late type of deal.
It is. And again, pit stop, crucial thing. You can be as fast as you can, but if you make a mistake there, just, for example, stop by in the pit spot few meters too far or few minutes too early, games start to move you, and that can give you easily 2-3 seconds. And to make up 2-3 seconds in the race pace, it's a lot of sweat and hard work. So
Fossman and Hayes just collided. I missed it because I wasn't watching. I was watching the replay. I can go back and look at it now. Malot's actually gained position. Malot has actually taken the lead of the race, taken the lead in the amateur division. So he could get second place and ruin a Party Pickles 1-2 finish in the amateur division. However, Fossman's not going to let that go. He's still within a second. I'm just going to review the incident between Fossman and Hayes because I didn't catch it on the stream.
And there's not the proudest moment of Castle at the moment. He's being lapped by a leader, and now he's going to be lapped by Cooper soon. Hopefully he's not going to make it complicated for any of those.
Yeah, he just got lapped by Power. Kerbal's still a fair bit away, and Cooper's miles away. Braun is now within a second of Rodriguez, however. So he's gotten close, and he's within the straight to do so. Brees is on the back of Balyut for the final amateur podium spot. Damn, any bumping today? Yeah, there's a few bit of bumps and bruises today. Oh, frickin' Malot goes so wide, almost comes back on the track, and makes contact with Fossman. However, they don't, and Fossman inherits the lead back of the amateur class. Thank you very much, he says. Thank you for keeping the seat warm, but in fact, it is mine. Yeah, I'll look back at that Macklin and Braun incident.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Macklin does dip a little bit to the inside. Like he late broke again, and then I think Braun gave him just enough. I can't really tell. I'll have to look for. I'm gonna look quickly from hood cam, just to see.
It needs definitely a more deeper review, because it was on the edge from both and really hard to say. From what I see,
the car's width is there. Like the car's width is definitely there. I'm not disagreeing with that. As Hayes is now caught back up to Malott and Fossman. He's a little bit upset. I would be upset if I were him. If I was in a championship fight and I'm still sitting. Now, credit, he is ahead of Castle, so he at least has that going for him right now.
yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where the car's width is there. But like, I don't know, was there a little bit of tire spin from Braun and stuff like that? So we'll let the stewards handle that. That's what the stewards are for. It's just really interesting to see as Power has 5 minutes left in this race to just keep it going, to just keep the hope alive for his first race win of the season.
Again, when we see the gap, it's 3 seconds. So probably maybe battle with not battle, but blue flags with Castle might cost him some time, because Kerbal was 4.5 seconds before. So now we will see if it's actual pace or it was just the blue flags.
Well, funny enough, Power's last lap is a 55.5767, and Kerbal's last lap is a 55.537. He's only 0.03 faster. So I don't think he's catching him. Like I thankfully have that lap data. Hayes still on the back of Malott. Fossman has seemingly lost Malott, but he's still there.
Battle between Rodriguez and Brown looks intense. I know the gap is not changing, so it looks like both are pushing. Those are the battles that it's not very interesting for the fan, but I know from the point of the driver, when you're sitting there and the gap is consistent lap by lap, you know that both drivers are pushing and sweating behind the wheel, trying their best, because they're kind of like, leveling each other pace, and yeah, that's hard work right there. So we'll see if someone makes a mistake. It's going to be interesting to see as well.
Hayes trying to maybe go up the inside of Malott here just before the straight. They're going to go side by side. It's going to be tight around the corner. Malott will take the inside. Hayes will take the outside. Hayes definitely got the better line out of that turn. Malott, recognizing that, just slips behind the Mercedes. That Porsche Power trying to maybe get closer and closer, but with the difference of exit, Hayes looks like he might stay ahead of Malott unless Malott tries a 0.2 dive bomb from behind. It's now 0.1. Malott maybe thinks about going up the inside. Nope, he stays behind Hayes. And I think
does Malott have diesel engine over there? Why he has a bumper black, like from the exhaust? Like a diesel has like a diesel engine.
Yeah, I think he's had a few collisions, or he's gone in the mud somewhere. Like, it honestly looks like his front hood has run over a million bugs. Like, it is just covered in dirt. I don't know what has happened to that American Stooge, but it is not in a happy place. Kerbal actually now within 3 seconds. The gap 2.8. It's now Castle just missed the corner. He straight up, I think, just missed the corner. I had that from Kerbal's POV, and I just watched Castle just go straight on. It honestly looked like a dartboard. I don't know where Castle was going as now Power is on the final lap.
Well, that's what happens when you're under blue flags.
He wasn't near anybody. He just went straight.
But the race is boring for him, so he maybe got some microsleep there.
Maybe, or he was doing his hobby down the street. He was reading a book, looked up, and went, "Oh shit, there's a corner there."
I'm still racing.
Oh crap, the race isn't over. I know it's over for you, Castle, but it's not over until the checkered flag waves. As ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute honor to call all these 12 races with you. Next season will be coming out of the broadcast booth more frequently. I'll be in here maybe 2 times, maybe 3 next season, depending on how tracks go and how I feel. But for me being a full-time commentator, this is my end. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure having these moments and being here with you. It has been honestly a treat. And with Stavko being now a 2-time world champion and retiring at the end of the season, and at this rate, Leung being the Pro-Am champion after he was amateur champion last season, Fossman after a Party Pickles domination will win out in the amateur division ahead of his teammate Ches. Nothing can put into words the amount of just thanks and honor it has been to be with you as the checkered flag waves.
And it looks like Power and Kerbal going for a photo finish. Rodriguez actually pulled out a bit from Braun, so if he's going to keep it together, it's going to be 4th place for him. And a close battle still happening between Malot, which I think he had a half a second to Fossman, to Hayes just a moment ago. Okay, keep going. This is your moment.
And Power finally takes the checkered flag for the first win in his career. Power finally gets that checkered flag. Kerbal finishes a Springfield Motorsport 1-2. Bradley Cooper avenges the demons in Suzuka and takes that podium position. Rodriguez says thank you very much to both Braun and Macklin and finishes 4th place. Castle finishes the race in 13th. Macklin right behind Braun, but Braun will take that final top 5 position as Macklin finishes 6th. Zahara having a nice quiet race finishes 7th. Nairati had absolute disaster at the start, having collisions with both Bobby and Hayes, manages to finish 8th place, a brilliant comeback by Nairati. As next across the line in last place of the Finnish drivers will be Breeze. Team on the Russia's season thankfully comes to an end as they look to bounce back next season. Leung's going to be next across the line as he wins in the Pro-Am division. MA70 Esports claiming more titles.
Woohoo!
Next across the line is going to be Hayes, then Malott and Fossman. Malott finishing... Did Fossman have an incident there? Why is he behind everybody? I don't know, folks. It's been a long day. Malott wins the race and will finish 2nd in the amateur division. However, Fossman will win in the amateur division. Castle finishing. So, ladies and gentlemen, as donuts begin, Power, Kerbal, and Cooper round out the top 3. Cooper winning in the Pro-Am division. Rodriguez rounds out the Pro podium. Braun, Macklin, Zahara, Nairati, Leung, and Hayes round out the top 10. Malott, Fossman, Castle, Balyuk, Breeze round out the top 15. And then we sadly lost Bobby at the end. Stavko, thank you so much for joining. It's an honor.
Before we're gonna wrap up, I wanna also say thank you to you, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be talking in the name of all drivers and fans that you did a great job throughout this season. And I always say, commentators for leagues like this always make it so enjoyable and even more enjoyable for drivers because they can, watch it from replay and enjoy it too. And you also bring so much passion and joy to it. So. And you're doing it in your free time, so huge thanks to you, and hopefully you're gonna have a fun in the next season. Hopefully we're gonna hear you as much as you can be in broadcasting.
Thank you so much, Dovko. It's an absolute honor, and again, you're the world champion you're the world champion overall again, 2 times in a row. So thank you so much, and well, hopefully you'll come in and do some commentary with me when I do commentating next season.
Thank you.
All right,
It was a pleasure.
I'll move you back to the ACC lobby. I'm gonna have to pull in Frank Castle and Burt Macklin here. Ladies and gentlemen, again, no words can be put into this moment. It's honestly, it tears my heartstrings out that this is the end of the season. It has been an absolute wild ride. We've had so many amazing moments together from me in this booth onto the track. I came fourth in Spawn, my debut race, mind you. That was on controller. I'm on a wheel now. It's going. Big things are happening next season. There is going to be changes. You'll get me. Don't worry, I'm not gone forever. I'll be out on track and I'll be doing my damnedest in the amateur division to try and make a push to hashtag Journey to Pro. But we are going to get Burt Macklin and Frank Castle, both Sandbag Syndicate drivers. Frank Castle, that was a interesting race from you. I didn't have you on the list, so maybe I should just put you back on it because you do better when you're on than you are off.
Yeah, that was a bad case of
Were you?
too much extreme sandbagging where I obviously didn't even know what track we were heading into. So, yeah.
What happened there on the straight? I was watching from Kerbel's POV, and you just, like you were just gone off the straight. Were you reading a book? Did you get distracted by your book?
I downshifted too hard, and I brought my back end out, and I just got tossed and slid on the last corner after the straight.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Twice.
I only saw it the once. I didn't see it the second time. Burt Macklin's currently muted. I'm waiting until he's unmuted, and then I'll ask. Oh, there he is.
Oh no, I was just staying muted.
Macklin, I won't discuss what happened between you and Braun. I'll let the stewards handle that. It was interesting from my POV because I had to review it like 16 different times because like it was there, but it also wasn't. I'm not too focused on it. But what can we look forward to in season 3, though?
Oh, I mean, well, first we can talk about it. That was 100% my fault. We left a gap that didn't exist, and I made it fit, and it didn't fit. So, anyways, yeah, no, not a good race for me tonight. I'm pretty sure I got at least a couple penalties coming, maybe more. But yeah, no. Next season? Is that what you asked? Sorry.
Yeah. What are we looking forward to next season? I mean, personally, I already know, but I feel like it'll be best from the league owner telling me what to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do a whole lot of changes, really, other than we kind of pick and chose some of the best tracks from both season 1 and season 2 to combine it into 3. So, yeah, there's only 2 new tracks in season 3, so all the drivers should be pretty familiar, which is always good because it makes for close racing when everybody knows the tracks well. So just Coda and Donington Park, I think, are the 2 new ones, and then the rest is all repeats. So I guess NERB 24. We snuck that in there.
Technically, that's a new, so there's 3 new tracks.
Yeah, so 3 new tracks, but the rest of the 9 everybody's driven before. Yeah, other than that, the only other thing we're doing is just going to open up the grid size. We can bring in more drivers up to a max of 45. And then, yeah, the only other change really is just some kind of admin stuff with stewarding. We're going to go from the automated stewarding report back to manual. So, yeah, that's kind of it for season 3. And a short break, only 1 week.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of break time. It'll be interesting to see the new drivers, the new blood that'll come in through. I'll definitely be commentating the Nürburgring one. I will not be driving that. No. It's going to be broadcasting gold. It is going to be broadcasting gold, that race, and I want to be there in the broadcast booth for when that happens. That needs to be broadcasted for sure. Macklin, Castle, thank you for the opportunity to have me commentate every week. It's just, honestly, it's the highlight of my week every week.
I love it. And for those who don't know, we're looking forward to having Tyler on the grid with us next season. So
Yes.
I actually,
And
I-
we're looking for another
probably
commentator.
dominate the AM class. Yes, and if you are interested in commentating, please.
yeah, if you're interested in commentating, just pop. Well, the link Discord is in our Twitch and YouTube. So please come commentate, because I'll even teach you. It's honestly not that difficult. It's pretty fun. As long as you got charisma, you can really much do it. Thank you, Sandbag Syndicate. Tough race though, but incredible season throughout. Backlund, you got one of the race wins this season. That's not Stavko or Seniga. So again, good season, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Right on.
Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right, move you guys back as I sign myself off. Oh, Macklin moved himself. I'll move you though. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it, however, for us here at DRL ACC, at least for the time being. In 2 weeks, though, we will be back at Barcelona. Will we have a commentator by then? Gosh, I hope so. I hope that you'll get to see me on track for my Season 3 debut, my second race ever. And again, no words can describe the honor and privilege that it is for have my voice be with you over these past weeks, over these past 2 seasons. It has meant the world to me, and I thank you all so very much. Join us in 2 weeks when we debut Season 3 at Barcelona. This is Tyler Morgan signing off from the broadcast booth for now. I'll be back soon. Thank you and goodbye.